Hi there, my name's TrueNev, I'm the only me there is, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, if you've noticed that in the last couple of episodes, and actually any videos of mine as of late, I've just been wearing the same sweater, it is because it is still cold. Now, I don't live in a country where it's supposed to be cold right now. I live in a country where, by the way, Canada, shout out to all my fellow Canadians, if there are any, where things are supposed to be a little warmer now. We're in spring, and that's not the case. Which is why I feel the need to mention the sentiment I've read in the last few days. Spring, you're drunk. Go home. Anywho, with that out of the way, let's keep going with the factory today. I was thinking that maybe I should up my production up here. I don't know if that made sense, but okay. By adding the very obvious constructor and smelter and all that. Because, you know, one thing I do need other than concrete when building my base is metal plates. And I don't want to have to go back down to just to get them either. So I'm going to do that. And, you know, while I'm at it, maybe fix up the rest of it so the entire production is reflected. Oh, good lord, I'm gonna die. Now, one thing I did in the off time was upgrade the conveyor belts to Mark II, and I made sure the ore got here. And another thing I tried to do but failed to do successfully was add a second constructor here to increase my output of concrete, but it turned out to not be as efficient as I wanted it to, so I discarded the idea. But what I will do right now is add my smelter. And, of course, before I do that, let's talk about what I plan to do today. I'm going to finish building for now, the L shape of what is this thing until we reach the next strut, which will be at the center of that field, where we will find a way to connect the copper mine up. We're going to do the same thing as over here, except a smaller strut, probably 3x3 or something like that, and then have it just loop. One thing I do want to mess around with some more are the jump pads, but I gotta see if it'll work at all. And another thing I want to see if I can do today, though I'm not making any promises because I don't really know if I'll have the time to do that, is keep expanding. Maybe reach the oil plant or something, because I really need to get the Caterium. And at some point, and for this I will have to go up higher. Sorry about that. At some point I will have to go from one of the other upper floors over to where that skull tree mountain thing is I reached last time, because I want to mine SAM ore. The SAM ore, which is very important, as well as as well as at some point make a bridge in the opposite direction, or connect it with a second, or connect this strut, the future strut here, to a second strut back over where the coal is, so we can have one uniform floor for production and just be able to connect it all. But as you can see, I ran out of fuel for my jetpack, so I'm gonna go get some and come back and start building. Okay, so far so good. As you can see, I implemented a bit of that balcony aspect I talked about last time. Only problem here is we don't have walls, so this would just be an empty platform to look out at everything. Which isn't bad per se, it's just, it feels incomplete, you know? I wish you could have a railing just to look out at everything. But anyway, I expanded the floor another 10 tiles this way, and now I'm going to start expanding this way. But before I do that, I want to cover this place with a nice roof-like structure. And the way I thought of doing it was to have some skylights, to give the illusion that we're in an actual factory with intermittent factory lights overhead. So I'm going to show you what I have in mind and get to it, because it's going to take up a lot of concrete. So basically I want to cheat the system like this. have one here, skip one here, skip one here, skip one here, and then skip one. To make it sort of like a checkboard pattern. The only problem is I won't be able to do it right away, so I'm gonna have to cover the entire roof portion and then take away. So I'll get to that and see you in a bit. So as you can see, it's something like this. You can see the separations between the panels, which is something I'm not too fond of, but I like the weird checkerboard idea. It breathes light into the area, while also giving the illusion that we actually have a roof over our heads. At least that's what I want to believe. Anywho, let's keep going so that I can build the next part, which is the tower from which copper will arise. I should start building screws and all that though. And for that, I think I want to change up the design, because this way it's nice, but it's horribly inefficient. The space, it makes me have to do something like what I had to do here with the iron ore. So I don't know, I have to play around with the values. Maybe consider doing second floor things, even though I like this roof as it is, but who knows, let's see. For now, I plan to change the way this looks over here to not be so symmetrical to this side, so that we can actually produce some better things. Quicker. And with better access to other areas. But first, this. Okay, so that is my temporary foundation for the strut that will house the copper. As you can see, I already built the bridge, the walls around it. I reduced the area instead of having 10 blocks worth, I had 5 blocks worth, since copper's not going to be that important in this area. And there's other places for copper, so I don't need to extend it either anywhere else. I'm hoping I can find iron at the oil plant, because that will make my life really easier. If not, I'm going to have to find a way to trace this all the way back there. Now, as you can see, I decided to develop this a little bit. And what I have here is a very simple conveyor belt system wherein 2 smelters receive the ore, turn it into iron ingots, which go around the back, outside through the wall, and into these 2 constructors, this one and this one. Both of them will reroute into a single one storage. I don't think I'll ever need that much iron plates. And in fact, I think I'm doing it all wrong, but anyway. Iron plates, one of them should be doing iron... Oh, right. They'll both give me iron plates, which is enough, right? But at the same time, I'll have this splitter splitting off into 4 different directions, which will promptly give me the ability to create plenty of screws and other things outside. Assuming the supply is enough, right? I just need to turn them on and try and test it out, but that's the idea. And I figured out a way to probably make my railing idea come true, which is to have a conveyor belt which connects around over here. Of course, in order to make this possible, as you can see, it goes straight here. I'll have to build something like this to house the support, and then build my idea. So it would be something along the lines of, let's see. I need to be straight as possible. Yeah, there you go. Can you... Oh, you can. Alright, let's see now. I'll probably place this right over here. Yeah, there you go. Now this one over here, that one over there. Oh, almost. Hold on. Hold on. I believe the idea is to put it as centered as possible. Sorry, I gotta connect this one right. Yeah, and so we get something along the lines of what I wanted, which is a bit of a railing in this part to look out. If not, well, then we'll see. But for now, this works. Let me just deconstruct it while I'm not using it, so I can go ahead and build a tower. Now, this episode is taking longer than I expected. Doesn't matter to you, you'll watch the edited version, but just so you know, I'm definitely taking my time with this one as well. Whether or not this should be 4x4, I'm not entirely sure. I wanted it to be 3x3 originally, but I don't think that's going to work for what I have in mind. It's definitely smaller than that one over there. Though in the end, I think it was also 4x4, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's the same size. Ugh. The struts are supposed to be smaller. So I may find a way to do this smaller. And in fact, I'm going to do it right now. And now with a 2x2, I should be able to find a way to do this without too much of a hassle. Let me just put this down right here. Alright. Now I need my handy jetpack, and we'll get to work. Okay, so I've got the basic layout of the tower built. Sorry, the strut now, as it were. It's a smaller one. I managed to make it 3x3. And it may not look as even or as symmetrical as the other one. As you can see here, it's a little weird looking. Lopsided, you could even say. But that's because I planned for this to connect in 2 other directions, but not go left, you see. I think the ideal directions would be over this way, towards where the coal power plant is, and over this way, and then make an L shape that goes over to where the oil plant is. Did I say oil before? I meant coal. Now, what I want to do here is something I've been wanting to try out for a while now, but the heck is this? But I'm not exactly sure if it'll work out or not. And that is to make a similar system like I did before with these jump pads, but instead with these. I want to see if I can automate that process. The thing is, I don't know how it would work because I've tried it before and it's not a perfect system. So, I don't know, maybe what I have in mind works, but I have to keep trying. Okay, so I've got the idea pretty much set up. It's a lot less elaborate, a lot less time-consuming than what I did at Mother Base. Although, I'm going to have to do something similar over there to get the copper up here, but that's going to be for a little while after I've tested this out a little more. So the basic idea is to have an automatic process. No longer will I have to actually walk from platform to platform or what have you. In theory, I can just jump up onto one and let them do the rest. Sometimes I'll crash into walls, but other times... Yeah, you see? So I made it sort of like a pinball system, and though it doesn't work flawlessly, it works to how I need it to, you know? I could also lower each platform a little bit to make it easier, but it's done. It works. And I hardly have to move at all. Then after that, I just connect up here. I changed this to... I should take this away. I changed the position of these gates here to be a bit more symmetrical, and other than that, yeah. I've got my system going. The only problem is I don't have a jelly at the bottom. I could have one. It would definitely slow my fall, but I'd need to get biofuel for that, biomass, and I don't want to do that right now. For the moment, let's just finish up here. The roof system, so I can get to the copper. Alright, roof's done. Now I'm going to reroute the copper and get it up here so I can start producing some nice copper things up here. The good thing about having done all this once before, and that I'm doing it a lot more condensed this time around, is that I'm not going to run into the problems I had last time where I was trying to figure out the logic of it all. No, instead this time, I already know what I'm doing pretty much, so all I have to do is take down a few walls, put a few holes in there, connect it all, and boom, bam, beam, it's up there. See, I already know what to do here because I already did it once before. We just need to redo this again. Whoops. What I would have to put up right now is some ramps, but that's not entirely necessary at the moment. And okay, it's done. I managed to get it in a pretty peculiar fashion that goes inside the tower this time because the outside only works if it's long enough to keep going up, and this one wasn't long enough, it wasn't wide enough. 3x3 is not good for outside elevation of resources, I guess. So I decided to cut in through the inside in a nice crisscross fashion that loops around the outside again in such a way that I won't ever hit them should I, you know, find myself going up my little jump pad things. But at the same time, but at the same time, we get what we wanted. Boing, 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 haha, lovely, beautiful, see? It works. And because this is here, I could technically just drop down again, and so on and so forth until I reach the ground instead of having to use a pesky jelly pad. With that, I've managed to create my first strut, and I've even managed to give everything a nice roof and connect it all over here. You know what that means, right? That's right. It means I have the capability now to... Oh, wait, never mind. I messed this up. But I have the capability now to create copper things up here. And that is something I'm very much looking forward to. Let me just connect this again. Can I even... Oh boy. Right, I cannot. Typical of me to forget certain things, but okay. There we go. Alright. And that's today's objective. Now, this video took me a lot longer to make than most of the previous ones, but don't worry, you won't get to see all the nitty-gritty annoying parts. You'll just get to see the fun parts where everything is already built. And if you want maybe a bit more of the strut building, I don't know. Point is, this is done. Now I can start making copper. Let me just start the production up and finish the episode. In fact, let me finish it with a nice panoramic view of things. Yeah, that's right. Right over here. Nice and symmetrical. Anyway, I'm going to take this picture and I'll see ya. So, wait, gotta wait for him to pass. He's gonna pass at any moment now. Okay, you know what, never mind. Anywho, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, thumb wrestle with that like button down below, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell button. But as always, I'm the only me, so you be the only you. See you next time.